So it's the end of an era for one particular, not so famous truck, but it was definitely a lot of fun for me. First, this thing had a 22 RE in it, and it was two-wheel drive. Then I put a 350 small block in it, chucked a rod, then put in another 350 small block. Didn't like that thing because it didn't have enough power, so I put the old one back in it after fixing it. Then I took it to go get tuned at a shop here local, and I guess they were redlining it or some damn thing, and they split the camshaft in half. Then I decided to hell with that. I'm going to go with a 454. Threw that sucker in it, two-wheel drive little truck with a 454 big block Chevy up front. Oh, it was funner than hell. Still untuned. Wasn't the fastest thing around, but put a smile on my face, and that's all that matters. But then decided that was enough. One day I was out at the track, or tried to go to the track anyway, and it started just thunderstorming, so I didn't even get to make a run down the track. Drove this thing all the way back home in the storm, getting all this water splashed up onto me. Then since I didn't get the race, and I stayed up all night just so that I could go do that, then I went out that night trying to look for some street races. Couldn't find anything, so I'm on my way back home. And as I come back into my hometown, this bitch cuts across 3 lanes of traffic and T-bones the side of my truck. She messed up all my custom rear end chassis work. I still got the dent right there. You see where that goddamn Toyota Corolla went right into my door. Messed up my whole 4-link and everything else. That sucked ass. So I used the insurance money that I got from that to buy this 4Runner platform. And then I sold the 454. Got me a 2004 5.3 LM7 out of a Suburban. High torque mini starter. You guys saw all the hell that I went through trying to get this thing to run. Still got 2 radiators. Now it's got a turbo 400, which I never really got to drive. And it's just time to say goodbye to this thing. Had a lot of fun. I do have a video you guys haven't seen of this thing yet. My Toyota V8 swap season 3. Now the reason you guys haven't seen that is because it's on my crashed hard drive. Thank you very much, Seagate. So anyway, whenever I get around to getting data restored on that thing, I will upload that video. But for now, it's time to strip this thing down, get rid of the body, keep all the stuff that I want to keep from it. And since my other project needs an engine, I will probably be using this engine for it. So stay tuned for updates on that particular project later to come. In case you guys were ever wondering why the paint scheme looks like that, now you can stop wondering. I'll tell you what I love most about it is going through and just remembering why I did something, how I did something, the trouble I went through, the things I was thinking when I did it, and everything else. Like my exhaust, I know it's been years since I've driven it, looked at it. It's rusted as shit now. Some of my little patch jobs, the shitty welding that I did. 2.5-inch exhaust. Dear God, that's an atrocity by itself. Then you got how the original main harness for this thing, for the factory Toyota, is all gone. So I had to wire in the little vacuum plugs and set up my vacuum line so that I could actually have a 4-wheel drive system. I had to cut out the windshield, well, plexiglass. Man, just the nostalgia of it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna miss this truck, but the nostalgia of being able to go back through something that you did, all the things that you did by yourself with nobody else, why I chose those seats, how I bent this tubing, why I did it, the fun that I had just building this entire truck, the fun that I had driving it, all the looks that I was getting from everybody else, just envious as shit. Oh man, I'm gonna miss this truck. Granted, didn't have a bed, you know, got the exhaust coming out right here. Man, this, you can see the radiator, you can see my mufflers, battery, a battery cutoff switch. Man, granted, it's not the greatest thing I ever made, but when you got something that puts a smile on your face, remembering how much fun you had driving it, remembering how much fun you had building it, how much hell you went through trying to get it to run, everything. I had to cut this here, had this whole front firewall section off. I re-welded it back on. Probably gonna have to cut that again, get that out of the way, and then it'll be easier for me to take the engine and transmission out. Just remembering, man. Just remembering what this truck means to me. That's what building a car is all about. I didn't give a shit everybody else bashing me. Oh, you shouldn't have done this, you should have did this, and this is what I would have done, and blah fucking blah. Well, go build your own then. You know what I mean? This one's mine. I built it myself, and I had a shit ton of fun. Everybody keeps bashing on me about it. I still don't care. I'm still having a smile sitting here just taking it apart. Coming apart just as easily as it went together. Well, I am definitely keeping this. It's a good thing though. It reminds me of where I've come from, where I'm currently at, and how much further I have to go, you know? Reminds me of the things I've done, how to either do them better next time, or the things I did correctly, and I can sit there and be envious of, man, I'm glad I know that, because there's a lot of people that don't know that, and I don't see anybody else with an LS swapped four-wheel drive Toyota pickup, so, you know, so, a lot of nostalgia happening. You know, I mean, there's something to be said for the guy that teaches himself everything, who didn't have the family, who didn't have the dad that works on muscle cars, who doesn't have 1,000 Facebook friends he can bounce ideas off of. You know what I mean? I'm not like the Boosted Boys. I don't have a team of 500 people helping me throughout the years. I taught myself everything. I've worked on all of my projects by myself. I don't see anybody else doing this. So, I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I don't give a shit. You guys want to say, oh, those shitty welds, oh, your wiring's backward, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't have done that. I don't give a shit. Keep being negative. You know what I mean? It just gives me the drive to keep pushing forward, because I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do because it makes me happy. If you guys want to come along for the ride, check out the video, subscribe, whatever. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't give a shit. Do it, don't do it, whatever. But I'm going to keep doing this regardless of what you guys are doing. So you can tune in, see how much fun I'm having, and all the stuff that I've taught myself, or not. It's up to you. Shit, here's an idea. How about this? If anybody, when this thing got T-boned by that chick in the Corolla, if anybody can guess the appraised value amount that my insurance company put on this truck when it was two-wheel drive with the 454 in it, if you guys can guess it, I'll send you for free my prized Fear This license plate. If anybody can guess the dollar amount, and it's not like and 77 cents and that kind of shit. If you guys can guess how much the insurance company appraised my truck at when it was two-wheel drive with the 454, if you guys can guess it, I'll send you that license plate for free. Huh? How about that? Even after all the bashing, even after all the bullshit throughout the years, I ain't holding no grudge. I'll give you guys that for free if you can guess how much my insurance company appraised this truck at when it was T-boned. Oh man, that probably just unleashed a whole shitstorm of comments. A bunch of assholes let loose. down at the bottom of the video, huh? Oh, I bet it was worth $7. I'll bet your mother's not even worth $7, fuckers. So, you guys will get the license plate if you can guess the dollar amount, but how about this, just for shits and giggles? Can anybody guess what was inside the box that I just pulled out of there? You saw how heavy it was, you heard how much it clunked when it was hitting the ground. Can you guys guess what was in it? You'll have to tune in at the end of the video if you want to find out. Hell, even my racing window nets are still good. Both of them. Just remembering all the design and engineering I had to go through to get that to work. When the hell was these made? Doesn't say. It just says 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at least 2008. Man, I've had those for a long ass time. And they're still good. Just remembering why I did certain things. Why I've got a giant rubber mat. Oh yeah, when I put this bead roll, I've got a bead rolling tool, and I put these in there to give the floor some extra strength. Got this bar here for my laptop. Wasn't very good for a passenger, but it's kind of hard to find takers. Anybody got the balls riding this thing with me? Little cigarette lighter plug, so I can have little 12-volt accessories. A little remote starter attached to my, what looks like 3-foot long shifter arm to give me leverage to shift that Turbo 400 down there. Power switch, junction blocks with a million wires. Piece of shit eBay drift brake that never worked. Harnesses, hard ass plastic seats. A fire extinguisher that is still charged. Fortunately, never had to use it. Little camera mount. All my gauges. Voltmeter. Transmission filled dipstick on the inside. So I got the seat out and it just looks all naked and lonely. Of course, at the same time, it's also giving me like flashbacks. I'm thinking about jumping back in here, you know, throwing the seat back in, redoing some wiring, patching up some of them holes in the floor, you know. I'm just going through all these memories of, hey, I'm going to keep working on this thing, but I got to keep reminding myself, no, I'm taking it apart. Anyway, another thing that kind of, while I was taking out this chair, while I was laying underneath there undoing the bolts for it, I kind of had this idea that popped into my head, and I was thinking, just for a moment, I was thinking, if this thing was on Craigslist, I would not buy it. Is that bad? I was thinking for a second, if I saw this truck sitting on Craigslist, I'd definitely go check it out, especially with all the stats and everything else, and everything. Go hear this guy's story about how much fun he's had in the thing, you know, and hear why he's getting rid of it and everything else, but I wouldn't buy it. No, hell no. Not in the condition this thing's in. But anyway, yeah. I mean, the flip side to that coin is I would never sell this thing anyway. I'm going to take it to the scrapyard and it's going to get crushed and nobody's going to ever drive it again. Because, yeah, I don't want to see somebody out there driving my hard work. You know what I mean? I don't want to see somebody out there having my fun. So I'd never sell it, you know. I'll take it to the scrapyard in pieces and tell them, I mean, if you can reassemble it, shit, you deserve to drive it. But yeah, I wouldn't sell this thing anyway. But it was just an idea that just popped into my head. I was thinking, well, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I was just thinking for a second, you know, this thing looks so damn dangerous and shoddily put together. I mean, everybody else is right, you know what I mean? They look at it, it's like, man, I ain't getting in that fucking passenger seat. And it's like, I can't really blame them now. I mean, I've never had those thoughts before, you know, and then all of a sudden it just pops into my head, I don't want this fucking thing. I'm not giving somebody money for this. You know, I've already, Jesus Christ, how much money have I gotten into this thing? But anyway, it was just an interesting thought. Have you ever done that? You ever look at your car and think, man, I love this thing, and then just one day it kind of comes across your head. Nobody else is around. Nobody's influence. Nobody buzzing in your ear. And you're just like, man, what a piece of shit. Anyway, it's just something to consider for those of you out there who live this kind of lifestyle. On the one hand, you can't really blame me because, I mean, this thing's been sitting around collecting God knows how many spiders and hornets' nests and how many different species of shit that could bite me at any time, like that little fucker. But, anyway, I haven't been able to drive this thing, you know? I haven't been able to have fun in it like I used to. It's just been sitting for the past couple of years doing nothing. I mean, if I was able to fire it up and go for a little drive around the block or something, go burn the tires off a little bit before I got rid of it, maybe it'd be a different story. But, yeah, it's just sad to see it go. Oh, man, that engine's gonna be a bitch to take out. Look at all them friggin' wires. God knows where they're all going to. I still gotta get that damn electronic pedal out of there too. Yeah. Anyway, I had a thought. If this video can get either A, 1,000 likes, or B, 1,000 comments, I'll tell you guys what the next project is, what I'm going to be putting this engine into. If not, if it doesn't get 1,000 likes or 1,000 comments, then you guys will just have to wait until I get around to doing it. Man, this whole thing is just one long trip down memory lane. It's like, oh, I remember this, and oh, I remember putting that in. It's like, oh, and I definitely remember this, you know. It's just, damn. But I can always make another one, and once this project is finally done and over with, I can move on to the next thing. Alright, so what's left here? Drive shaft, battery, triple pass radiator. Everything's taken out of there. Engine and trans. I believe that's it. So for trying to get the radiator out, that hose doesn't want to come off, and as I've showed you guys in the past, I've got some little channel locks here. Grab a hold of the rubber hose and just give it a little twist to break that seal. Nothing like a good game of reverse Tetris. Alright, so I think I got everything. I'm not sure about all the wiring, but I think it's time for a little bit of twin turbo muscle. And here I was worried that something wasn't going to go as planned. How foolish of me, right? So for lack of any other ideas or any better ideas, what we're going to do is change one of the variables, and that's the anchor point. Instead of having it hooked down there, we're going to have it hooked up here. Oh, it just looks so naked and alone and sad now. Talking about me because look at my truck. Anyway, yeah, the only thing I have left to take out is the electronic pedal. And it's the long goodbye. Hurts to watch. Remembering all the things I've done with that truck. When I had the 22 RE in it. And when I had the 350 small block. When I had the other 350 small block. I had the 454. When I cut up the back of it to make my own cage. I've won some street races in it. drifted in the rain with it. I remember when I turbocharged the 4Runner's engine. And I remember how that turned out. I remember just for the hell of it, I took the 35-inch tall mud tires off of my red truck and put them on the black truck. I remember installing the Spartan locker in the rear axle, and how much of a mistake that was. And there was that time that woman in that Corolla hit me. A lot of memories. But all good things must come to an end. But now on to the next project. So now it's the end of the video. Let's find out what was in the box. See if anybody got this correct. Mail order catalogs.